Thank you for tuning in to Do You Believe in Destiny? My name is DestinyRaven. So I just want to say a happy Easter to everybody. Hopefully you all had a very good Easter, full of food and time with your family and stuff like that. And as well, Easter weekend this year, 420. So today's 420. So of course I just want to wish everybody a happy 420, and hopefully you made good on what 420 stands for and got really baked. But anyways, now the Easter holiday actually originated, it's kind of two things. It's a Christian holiday and a pagan holiday. Now the pagan holiday, Ishtar, was basically time of spring and sex and fertility. That's what it's celebrating. And of course, the Christian holiday, celebrates the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, when Constantine back in Roman days took over and made everything Christian, he basically took a pagan holiday, a Christian holiday, threw it together. So that's where you get, the Easter bunny and the eggs is from the Ishtar holiday there. And then you have the birth and death, the death of Jesus Christ and the resurrection of Jesus Christ as well. So it was kind of two things kind of thrown into one there. So like I said, hopefully you had a great weekend and, lots of fun and lots of time with your family. Okay, so I was reading some other interesting news items on the news there. One thing that caught my eye was in the Ukraine, where there is the still that Russian versus Ukraine crisis going on. Basically. There's this petition, there's this notice going around. Now, the origins are unknown. No one knows where it's coming from. Everybody's denying responsibility for putting these out. But the Jews are being targeted again. Now, we saw this in the 1930s during World War II, before World War II, where the Jews had to, in Germany, where the Jews had to register. And, of course, as the Germans found out after, during World War II, Jews had to register everywhere. So in the Ukraine right now, the Jewish nation has to register and pay $50 to register all their property, any assets. They have to register everything. Like I said, we've seen this before, but the significance to this is to this Russian-Ukraine issue is that I believe it's the Russians are counting on the small Jewish minority that's in the Ukraine there. To help further their advances there in the Ukraine. So I don't know, something's crazy going on up there. But like I said, we've seen this before. We've seen this in the 30s, and we also what happened after that. Now Hitler, definitely, everybody knew it was the Nazis. Everybody could pinpoint. Now, no one knows who sent these out. No one knows what's going on. But these flyers are going around. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out throughout the rest of this conflict, this crisis, and Okay, so I've talked a bit here. I went over, the Justin Bieber thing there in the States, deporting, not deporting. I also spoke a bit about this new thing that's going around in the Ukraine right now, demanding that all Jews register or face expulsion, and no one knows where that's coming from. Now, closer to home, on a sad note, Jim Flaherty, who was a finance minister up until just about a month ago when he resigned, he passed away last week. Last weekend was a huge state funeral for Jim Flaherty, and of course, he did carry Canada throughout the recession here. He's known for keeping Canada afloat while other countries were sinking. And I guess he had a great legacy, so may he rest in peace there. As well in Canadian news, other Canadian news here in Canada, the provincial Liberal government under Kathleen Wynne is suing, I believe, for like $2 million, the leader of the the provincial conservative, Tim Hudak. Now, basically, Kathleen Wynne is suing Hudak for defamatory comments. Basically, she doesn't like the fact that she's being still accused of this having this third party guy come in and destroying or deleting documentation containing or with these gas power plants. Now, if you don't remember, these gas power plants were the thing of the Liberal government under Dalton McGuinty. And basically, there was plans to build these gas plants in Mississauga and Oakville. They got started, and then the funding got cut, and they got stopped. And now the province of Ontario, us, the working class people, have to now pay for this debt, which adds extra onto our hydro bill. And Kathleen Wynne, of course, denies that she, knew anything about it. Personally, I think she knew everything about it. Her and Dalton McGuinty were in on this together. And, I do like some things the Liberal government's put through, especially with the marijuana and stuff like that. But when you're making these deals and then breaking these deals, costing us taxpayers, billions of dollars, of course we're going to start asking questions. And quite honestly, I think that lawsuit is a load of crap. The Liberal government needs to be held accountable for this, and they just want to sweep it under the rug. And Tim Hudak there is saying, we want answers. The province of Ontario wants answers, and yes, we do. And I think personally that the whole Liberal caucus should go up on criminal charges, but that's probably not going to happen. Kathleen Wynne seems to be very sly, very just like the rest of the Liberals down there. So at this moment, there's still, I think it's like a $2 million lawsuit against the Conservative government. So we'll see how this plans out as well. So that's just about all that I wanted to talk about on my show for this week. And one more little interesting facet I didn't really want to mention, and I've wanted to mention this for a couple of weeks now. I was reading on Facebook, this head neuroscientist basically states that ADHD is basically a way for the government to start shoving crap into its citizens, instead of cognitive behavior therapy, where instead of throwing drugs and stuff, you actually help somebody out with not drugs, but different behavioral techniques to make them focus, to make them concentrate, things like that. And it's like a lot of these other mental illnesses that are going around. To me, it's just the way of the government saying, we'll just write this person off as this and shove drugs down their throat, keep them quiet, keep them under our control. And that's exactly what's happening here. The government can shove these really harmful, like we're talking crystal meth forms, speed forms down children and youth's throat, but they can't smoke marijuana. Like what, I think it's a crock of shit, actually, personally. I think the government needs to stop shoving chemicals down people's throats and start looking into marijuana, legalizing marijuana, letting the population smoke marijuana that want to smoke marijuana. And I know people are going to disagree with this statement, but there's a lot of things out there, a lot of so-called mental illness. To me, bipolar, ADHD, it can all be dealt with, not in a mean, abusive way, but in a coaching, friendly, cognitive behavior therapy way. It just takes time and things like that, and the outcome, you're not going to get all these screwed up people screwed up from the drugs the government gives them. So just have to keep in mind there. I just want to say thank you for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my show. I try to post it every week or every 2 weeks, just depending on how my week goes. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Stay tuned. What you're going to see next is some pictures from episode 18 and 19 of Arrow and Deathstroke and The Man Under the Hood. And of course, stay tuned after the pictures for my review of Arrow. So until we can meet again next time, thank you for tuning in and have a great week. so we come up to my Arrow review now. Episode 18, Deathstroke. Starts off, Thea's been kidnapped by Slade Wilson and Deathstroke as part of the plan to get back at Oliver, of course. There's this marital debate. Now the relationship between Oliver and Roy is still very rocky. And so at the marital debate, a sign is flashed about Thea and about how much her life is worth, and which drives Oliver over the top. You know, he hasn't been really focusing on anything but, you know, Slade Wilson since Slade showed back up a couple episodes ago to bring Oliver down, because like I said, Slade blames Oliver for the death of Shadow there. And so Thea gets kidnapped, and so Oliver signs over temporary control of Queen Consolidated to Isabel, who in fact is working for Slade Wilson. So that was part of all the big plan too. The big plan, and bring Oliver down to his knees, leave him with nothing, take the company, and then build these super soldiers for his army. So that's basically what the big plan was, and we see it all happening. We see Oliver's constant, you know, just focused on Slade and nothing else. The company is being run by Isabel. And then, of course, at the end, Slade comes and tells Laurel who the Arrow really is there. And Roy ends up going postal, you know, injuring Diggle there, and basically runs off. So that's where we leave episode 18. And of course, on the island, Oliver is traded for this guy who could fix engines. Now they put this dynamite on this guy, hoping to blow up the ship and everything. But Slade Wilson finds that out, and he basically sentences, you know, Oliver and everybody on the island. They have to stay on the island, and you hear Shadow's, you see Shadow's ghost there, telling him to tell them that, yeah, they're staying on the island. Of course, Slade promises that when the ship leaves, he's going to be paying Oliver's family a visit, which I don't think sits too well with Oliver there. So that's kind of episode 18 in a nutshell. Now episode 19 starts off Oliver, Diggle, Sarah, and Felicity completely destroying the Robert Queen applied sciences of Queen Consolidated. Oliver, of course, you know, does it. You can see the side, you know, he doesn't really want to do this, but it's leaving a door for these super soldiers and Slade. So he goes in, and they all plant bombs. They destroy the building. One thing I did forget to mention in episode 18 was Detective Lance gets arrested again. You know, this is the second time in season 2 that he's been arrested for helping the vigilante, helping the Arrow. This time the charges are a bit more serious, aiding and abetting, and he's looking at about 18 months in prison. Now, in episode 19, he's in prison, and this guy that Arrow and him have put behind bars comes and, you know, beats the crap out of the guards and beats the crap out of him. And when he was in the hospital bed there, Laurel comes and visits him and says, you know, she knows who the Arrow is, and basically he has a talk with her saying it doesn't matter who that man is under the hood, it's the hood that matters. It's a symbol. And we saw this in Dark Knight, and Batman Begins Dark Knight, when Bruce Wayne says, you know, it's not me, the man under the mask, that counts. It's the symbol of the Batman, the symbol of Arrow. The man under it is fallible, but the idea, the symbolism of the Arrow or Batman is all that matters. So basically, he has a little talk with Earl saying it doesn't matter who he is. He's doing good for the city. So, and of course, we saw last year Lance would have, you know, like he said, given his badge to take the Arrow down. But, you know, as the episodes went on, things changed, and his idea is now, I'm ready to do time for this guy. So, and of course, Laurel, you know, being in the district attorney office, again, blackmails the other district attorney there to let her father go and reinstate him. So I just really wanted to touch a little bit. I just want to speak there, you know, speak a bit about that, the tie between Commissioner Gordon and Batman and Detective Lance and the Arrow, how, at first they were very much anti-vigilante, but then as time grew on, they grew to work and trust, and at the end, both of the cops don't want to know who the man is. They don't care who the man is. All they know is that he's a symbol of justice and cleaning up the city. So, and bringing out the man behind the symbol would wreck all of that. Now, of course, we see also in this episode that Star Labs, which is from Central City and Barry Allen, make reference back in this episode here. Slade Wilson now can't use Queen Consolidated for his master plan, so he turns to this machine that was built by Star Lab, hijacks the machine and sets it up. And of course, Slade Wilson, check in. Like, we saw this in X-Men as well, where Magneto uses Rogue to power this machine, while Slade Wilson uses Roy to get the blood to give to these prisoners here for a super soldier army. And of course, at the end, Diggle and Oliver come in and they rescue Roy, and Thea is very done with her family. Now, I feel very bad for Thea. Thea has been through so much with the family. She's the one that always, through all the lies, through all the BS, through everything else, it's Thea that ends up getting hurt at the end of the day, and she's had enough. Now, with Isabel totally taking over Queen Consolidated, doesn't leave a whole lot for the Queen family, except for some hidden assets. Now they need everybody's signature on that. Thea refuses to sign, and she ends up taking off. So that's basically episode 18 and 19 in a nutshell. Next episode is called Seeing Red, and it looks, from what I see from the preview, spoiler alert, that Roy goes psycho. Roy totally just flips it and goes psycho. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. And like I said, ever since Slade showed back up, things have been getting very, very interesting. And we're in the last 3 or 4 episodes till the season finale. So I think we're going to see how Slade ends up getting the arrow through the eye, how, we're going to see a bunch of things here. So it's going to be something to look forward to for the next couple of episodes until the season finale. And of course, tune into my show. I'm going to try to do a show every week to try to review the final couple of episodes as they happen. And of course, Arrow can be seen on CTV and CW at 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights. We've seen some breaks here and there, but it doesn't matter. It's back, and it's getting really, really good. So that's just a bit for my Arrow review. Until next time, take care.